How you guys doing? Welcome back. Today is Tuesday, September 14th, 2021. Welcome to episode 157 of the SWINGCAST. Let's get into it. If you're new here, welcome, new kid. I'm Evan. This is Fifth Third Trading. We're going to talk about technical analysis. Now, some folks call me John Stonkton. Some other folks call me Chef Boyer Swing. Others call me Bruce Wingstein. Took a second. And other ones call me Handsome. But with that being said, we're going to get into some great technical analysis. 8 picks today for you. You've probably heard a few of these. Probably a few for sure. And we're going to get into these and look at the technicals. Now, I would definitely look into other things such as risk management, technical analysis, fundamental analysis, mental analysis. Risk management is a part of the first one. But of course, a trading plan, macro markets, goal setting, these things, and of course, consistency. Those 8 things are what I talk about in my course, which is accessible early on the Discord. It'll be on YouTube by the end of the month, hopefully. Got a few more lessons to do. Be on here soon. If you enjoy this kind of content, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I insist, if you are a new kid to my channel, make sure you watch from beginning to end. Watch the whole episode, even if you want to skip around. You may not like AEL, but you may like JNPR, you may like XPER. Skip around, there's chapter notes in the bottom. My Discord's at the bottom. It's still free till 10/1. But give me the chance. Go through the whole episode. Make sure you don't like it. Make sure you do like it. Take some time. Because if you do like it, hey, give it the whole episode and then pause to think about liking, subscribing, and hitting the bell notification. Otherwise, 8 great picks. It's a beautiful Tuesday outside. Y'all, Tuesday is gone with the wind. No, let's get into it. So first is AEL, great support. We have our support as this white line. Our resistance is this orange line. You will see on other plays like AR and AIRC, the supporting trend is golden, the resistance trend is orange. These 2 white lines that are dotted is where 70% of the volume happens. This red node is where most volume happens. This is from Volume Profile. I don't have time now to discuss Volume Profile, but I do have a 15-minute video right here or so up in this area. You can watch now. Watch it, add it to your chill belt. Trust me, you'll thank me later. AEL is a fantastic looking support play. Sure, if we go to the whole entire 10-year chart, in the 1-year chart, see this? We're going up nicely. This uptrend's kind of slowing down, but we do in fact have really nice trends up. Looks good to me. I think the support's gonna be a great play. Maybe we see 28.13. This doesn't stop. It comes on 28.13 or so, $28. Anywhere in here is our next great support. If that breaks, this little gap fill area will be next. But this support looks very strong. Sure, it may see, $29, a little bit lower, but anywhere in this area looks really good for a support play. Let's check the indicators. What's really cool about this channel, besides me, son, is that I actually don't scan with indicators on. There's no VWAP, there's no crossovers, there's no RSI low, none of that. I go strictly off of price action because I know indicators can show you 4 things and 4 things only: trend, momentum, volume, and volatility. That's it. These are going to show that and support or deter you from entering. If you're new to trading, you'll see what a veteran sees live. It's pretty cool. Off the bat, I can see that 200 is slightly going sideways now. See how it's going up and now it's kind of slowing down? That means I'm going to put more emphasis into the support play than a trend line because it's going sideways, right? That's going to show trend. Below the 200, it's a fantastic value. It breaks the same about once a month. It gets below here. We're down here, fantastic value. Sure, waiting for a crossover the 10 is a great sign of life, but anywhere down here, value-wise, makes a whole lot of sense to me. RSI is at basically 30. It can't get much lower. That's in a great sight to see there. We have our stochastic negative 56. You use stochastic to find divergences. I don't see one here, which is fine. Now, I did see a bearish one. See this? That's a bearish one. That's why it came down. No bullish ones, but no continued bearish ones. It's just a good value. Vortex, bulls low, bears high. When I say bulls low, bears high, I mean bulls are oversold, which you want, and bears are overbought. More than likely, there's more red action than green action. We want to see that to buy in for a value play. AEL is definitely a value play given these circumstances. I would definitely watch list it into this week. I don't love AEL for any particular fundamental reason yet, but again, support-wise, it makes a whole lot of sense. Watch list it. Let's see what it does. Next is AIRC, a great uptrend here, beautiful channel up. And I look at this, great volatility, look at great old resistance becomes support, old resistance becomes support, old resistance is acting as a resistance here, not really support yet. But this little area, you can consider resistance, is holding up very, very well. Very consistent. I think our support may be a bit lower, if I'm being honest, or a bit higher. We're kind of in limbo here. So we're going off the trend line. What I'm going to look for is that if it's bouncing off the EMA line, that's going to really help me see if it's actually a trend bounce or a support bounce, because it can go either way here. Maybe it's bouncing off the old resistance as a support. Maybe it's a trend line. We'll see what the EMA line show, but overall a great trend up, great play here, very easy to read. Let's check the indicators. So the 200 is pointed up still. Great trend. So I'm going to put a lot of weight into this trend line. Also, look at the 50. Every single time we get below the 50, what happens? It's a great value. It almost always comes back. Now, it might take some time, right? This was almost 2 weeks of just sitting here going sideways, but then a nice 4% gain. So you're not going to be breaking the bank here. You're not going to be making massive amounts of moves here. You know, maybe you'll make 10, 15% on a huge move. But again, you're below the 50, great value. Above the 200, it's a great trend up. Gorgeous play here. The EMA lines show that for sure. RSI, it's low. Could be a bit lower, but I like it where it's at. Stochastic, negative 20. You really do want something near or close to negative 40 usually. No true divergence. It looks pretty good here. Looks like looks like it's fine. Just a good value here. Maybe a bit lower towards maybe 49 bucks. Bulls low, great value. Bears high. They're getting overbought. AIRC. I have some bad speech. Sometimes I take my time with that one. Looks really good. Super simple play. Great uptrend. Sure, you're not going to be making AMC option money. Sorry. But if you have a 9-to-5 job, you're not very stressful with that now, are you? It's a good trade-off. AIRC, Watchlist. I like it a lot. Next is DE, a super beautiful ascending triangle. Look at this. All the way up, down, all the way up, down, all the way back up and down. We're making these bears feel the pain until 385. We buy in higher. Bulls say, I'm cool at 278. All right, now I'm really cool at 300. 320 is fine. So is 330. Now 350. Now 355. Bulls are taking control of DE. It may not break up today. It may come out a bit lower, but this is a very evident bullish case just off price action. John Deere, great company. Them and Cat always be printing. Fantastic looking price right here. I mean, the POC is acting as a support. You'll know that if you watch the volume profile video. Wink. You know the support's right here below it. Consistent resistance. This is a great support area, even for a horizontal play. This is a fantastic trend up. No true resistance trend line, because again, I think it's a triangle, but a fantastic area of convergence right here. Let's check these indicators out. We can see the 200 has been a great support. Same with the 50, but now they're both above. So the 50, see that's being a support, see that's being a resistance, see that's being a support. These two will be resistances moving forward, but at the same time, it's showing clear value. If your worst case is plus 3% and then it comes down a bit, so then you sell out, that's a fine situation. I don't think it's terrible. So again, a good value. Could be a bit lower, I think. If it does dip, look for 332. But again, a great value for a great ascending triangle play. RSI is at 32. Can't get much lower. Stochastic, an obvious divergence. What do I mean? Look at this. Right about here, higher lows. Right about here, triple bottom. See how it's not the same? That's definitely a bullish divergence. A great site. See this? Top to this top are even. They're even here. No bearish. That's full bullish. DE has that. Beautiful. Bulls are low. Great value. Bears are high. They're getting overbought. DE is exactly what you want to see for a technical setup. It has bullish action. It has clarity. Very low risk. Very high reward for a breakout. I mean, it's everything you want. A divergence is in there. I mean, Chef Boyer swings in the house, baby. DE, watch list it forever. It's a blue chip. Watch it. It can do some great stuff. I love what I'm seeing for this week. I like it a lot. Next is EXTR. It's a great looking triangle. Sure, there's a chance that's making more of an ascending triangle. I'm going to say there's some definite lower highs. You could have said that this area of like 1160 is about the same high. It's kind of getting tight, but it's obviously higher lows. That's what we're looking into. I think possibly if tomorrow's a red day on the S&P, always watch that in the morning. If it's going to be a red morning, they're looking for 950. If it's a terrible day for everything, you're looking probably towards $9 in general down here. But if tomorrow's red, 950. If it's green, this trend line should possibly hold. It's great consolidation. If this breaks out, get rid of the trend lines. It's over, son. You're going for just a support play. But if this holds, easy 14% And look at these plays. Huge run, huge run, huge run. It does this. It reverses very quickly. You got about 4 hours of it sitting here to then get in on it. So again, if it does show some green, I would be quick to get in, but have a tight stop loss, my own opinion. Great consolidation play. Let's see the indicator show. Let's check them out. EXTR, I think it's a triangle. Look at the EMA lines. Sideways, sideways, right? And when the 15 to 200 in the middle of the triangle, look at resistance trend, support and trend, directly in the middle. When the EMA lines are sideways, directly in the middle, I like to do this. See how it's a triangle like this, and it's going like that right into it? That shows consolidation, furthering my notion that I think this is probably a triangle play. If you didn't know that little tidbit, subscribe. More tidbits on the way, little baby nuggets for you. Love to see that. Again, great value nonetheless down here, fantastic, great consolidation. RSI, right where you want it. Stochastic is low. I don't see any real bullish divergences. I mean, you could argue a small one, a small little baby argument, maybe this, right? It's close. I wouldn't put too much weight in that. But again, it still is a negative 30, a great value. That value is further shown. I mean, you could even say that right there too. But again, bulls are low, great value, bears are high, overbought. EXTR, I think if it's a red day tomorrow, I wouldn't touch because I think that the volatility for most beginners who watch this, I wouldn't want to touch that if I was afraid of a red day. But if tomorrow's green, if Asia, Frankfurt, and Japan, and all the markets I watch foreign are doing green, I'd be more inclined to buy in sooner in the morning because it does have quicker reversals. But EXTR makes a whole lot of sense for a watch list. Check it out this week. It should be good into Thursday and Friday, hopefully. Next is JNPR. Tank. Absolute tank. This thing has been doing this for months now. I've been calling it every time it gets below this little trend line area. I already know the 200 EMA line is going to be right here probably. I don't know if it's for sure, but I would bet my bottom dollar it's going to be right there. Old resistance becomes a support, resistance, support. This is exactly what we're talking about technicals. Great support area, great trend up. Again, I'm going to put more weight into the trend line if the EMA line is up. I'll put more weight into the support if the EMA lines are sideways. I go off the 200 mainly. So again, we're going to check that out in a second, but if we're going sideways, buy a bit lower. You know, maybe even 27 bucks. If they're going up, if the EMA lines are up, I'm going to be buying off this trend line. Let's check out the indicators. Ooh, look at that. Who knew? Daddy knew. Bounce, 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 bounce. It's easy money at the 200. Now we can see the EMA line is in fact going sideways though. You see that? Now again, it does that often. It goes sideways, whatever it is. Right, so I put my bottom dollar. This is going to be a great consolidation area. Look at anywhere in here. That's what we're looking at. That's a bunch of lines coming together. All that spaghetti is coming together right there. I think the support play makes more sense. So identify where your support's going to be. But this trend is so obvious. You break above that 10, that can be your go signal. You're ready to go. You get properly stacked, you're going to enjoy yourself a big old fat run for sure, in my opinion. RSI 37 could be lower, but we're producing a support here. You can see that we're making this little support, this little catcher's mitt right here. You're going to lose some RSI strength for creating that. And again, you have to give up RSI eventually to make money. You can't just be oversold the whole time. You got to get overbought eventually. This is a fine spot. Stochastic is a bit overbought. You want it a bit lower. No clear divergences. Again, it's probably fine. I mean, you could argue, you know, you're going down like this. See how those are all lower lows? These are higher lows, and then it came back down. Sure, not perfect, but again, a good value nonetheless. Again, exemplified by bulls low, bears high. JNPR, it does have some breaks in the trend. Don't get your panties in, in a bunch about that. It's a great support play. Old resistances become new supports. It has that trend. It has that EMA line. What else could you want for a low risk, high reward play? JNPR watch listed. Let's see what it does this week. Next is MLM, multi-level marketing. No, Martin Marietta Materials Inc. That's a nice mouthful. I don't see the L in there. I guess I'm an idiot. No true resistance trend line. Again, I could probably go to the 1 year. If we can see, sure, it's just been going up. Maybe it's a broadening wedge. Yeah, it's probably a broadening wedge that's kind of breaking down here. The reason I emphasize broadening wedge for this one is because, as I get the right time frame put on, is because broadening wedges like this, when you make this kind of pattern, eventually you're not going to hit that supporting trend or that resistance trend. Eventually you're going to go up and hit that resistance trend, come down, and then keep pressing it and make a new pattern. Or in this case, that supporting trend keeps going. You test that and never get back up to that resistance trend line. So a new pattern is going to form here soon enough. We'll monitor that. We'll see what it's going to do. Maybe it's a small, weak ascending triangle, around this 384 being the main resistance. We'll see, but the only main factor is this beautiful supporting trend line. Old resistance area, old pivot area becoming support. Maybe you get in a few bucks lower, right? But again, we're risking at most 2%. Let it go past the POC, 3%. Okay. It gets a breakout, making 9% for new highs. It's 3-1. What more do you want? You win 40% of the time, you're green. So this is a really beautiful looking uptrend here. I let it come down to us. You know, it's dropped about 7% in a few days here. I don't want to rush into it, but you know, if we do see some life down here, a great value, I may not be able to resist it. Let's check the indicators. 200 EMA line, great value. Again, it doesn't test it. See how it doesn't test it at all? And then it tests it a bunch of times. Again, EMA lines show you trend. This is very telling that we're going from uptrending to more of a slight incline or going horizontal. If that's the case, keep the trend, but put more emphasis on the support play. The support play is fairly obvious as well. Again, anywhere in 361, 357, or again, the POC is the strongest, 350. You choose your level of where you think the value truly is. RSI, it's low. And again, these are great balances too. RSI, it's low. That's great. Stochastic, it's low. I don't really see a clear divergence. Again, sure, maybe a small uptrend here, and these are lower lows. Not putting too much weight into that. Again, what's clear though is that there's no bearish, and that's good. Again, exemplify value. Bulls low, bears high. MLM, plenty of you know, potential here for a great breakout. I think for a beginner, it makes the most sense. You're not going to be losing a bunch of money or gaining a bunch of money. It is going to be volatile, 2 or 3% a day. Nothing too crazy for an intraday trader. But for someone who has a 9-to-5 job like me, makes a lot of sense. MLM, watch listed. TDOC. This is coming right down to where you want it. Now again, you may be looking at this chart. This is complete garbage. Well, it's not the greatest to ever do it, but look at it. We have this nice little lower highs coming right into this area. I don't love descending triangles, I gotta be honest with you. But look at the support area. We're right at 133. Again, worst case Ontario, you risk 3%. Okay, it comes down 3%, you just get out, or you can buy down here if you really believe in the value, 130. Again, just for tapping the resistance trend line is 7%. No breakout, 2-1 odds. Not bad. If you get a breakout here, you may have some pretty crazy stuff. Again, we have a very similar setup over here. Look at this. This is very similar to what we're seeing already at the 180 spot. Boop, 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 boop. Breaks down. Right over here. Boop, 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 boop. Breaks down. Eventually, though, this should have a nice move up. Hopefully, POC is gravitational. Very strong support. Again, if you believe in value investing, this one makes a whole lot of sense. Let's check the indicators. Again, kind of smashed together, but look at the 200 is your biggest enemy here. Resistance, resistance. Oh, we got over it. But resistance, resistance. The 50, resistance. 200, resistance. What I'm getting at is that while you're below these two lines, especially the 50 and 200, you have great value. But your short-term price targets should be tied to or near the 50 or 200 EMA line, depending on how confident you are. So don't get crazy, like, I'm going to make 175. You know, 150 for a small move makes a whole lot more sense than 175 with these resistances here. But once you get over them, yeah, then all bets are off. RSI 30, stochastic low, gorgeous. Bulls low, bears high. TDOC is basically the perfect setup for a value play. I don't think it can get much lower, but Peter Lynch said that, and of course, it will get lower. It'll humble you. But again, TDOC, a bit more hyped up. But again, when I see value, Daddy calls value. I like it a lot. Last but not least is XPER, XPER Holdings. Kind of looks like the IWM, doesn't it? Kind of looks like the Russell 2000, doesn't it? Pretty similar. So again, I think this is a great spot to buy into, good value. This trend line is just kind of there to show there is some basic higher lows. I'm not oversold about that. Maybe you'll see 1919, 1930, worst case. Maybe even a low is 19 bucks if this continues down. But this point right here, fantastic support. Looks really good here. It's holding. Again, a full move, 9%. You're risking what? 3 and some change? 3-1. What more do you want? Gray lower highs, it's consolidating. You get a breakout. Hopefully you get a move like this bad boy. But down here, it looks pretty good nonetheless. Let's check the indicators. I'm sure they'll be going sideways. Look at that. Sideways. Kind of down, but again, long-term, sideways. EMAs, sideways. We have clear consolidation. Eventually, it should have a breakout, but again, both will be small resistances moving forward. Keep that in mind. RSI, it's low. Stochastic low. No true divergence. I don't think that's really sticking out to me, but again, a great value. Bulls low, bears high. XPER, again, For a 9 to 5 person, you risk 2 or 3%. You can set a OTO bracket order or something, or there's some alerts you can check your computer. It goes up, hits your price target, get out, congratulations. It goes down, you lose a 3%, life goes on. Not too bad at all. I like what I'm seeing. I would definitely watch list it into this week. And there you guys have it. Thank you so much for sticking around for the whole episode. I appreciate your guys' time. I appreciate the attention. I appreciate the conviction and all those kind of great words that I'm too tired to talk about. Otherwise, have a good rest of your guys. It's Tuesday. The class is on the way. If you want early access, check it out on Discord. Otherwise, have a good rest of your guys. It's Tuesday. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks.